Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a special edition or a special segment on Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And did you know that on average, nearly 20 people were per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States? During 1 year, this equates to more than 10 million women and men. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men experience severe intimate partner physical violence, intimate partner contact sexual violence, and or intimate partner stalking. So all month long, I have been talking about domestic violence, bringing awareness and tools of prevention for those that may be experiencing it, and tools for overcoming for those that have gone through it and you're trying to find a way out or you're trying to heal from it. So tonight I have my special guest, Lachelle Evans Beard, with me, and we're going to share, and she's going to talk with us, and she's going to share her story on tonight with us right after this. We'll be right back.
You have the power to choose. It's all inside of you. You have the power to choose whether to win or lose. The power to love and forgive and heal through His Son. 'Cause He's giving you the power to
Yes. Good evening, everybody. He has given you the power to overcome. Oh, my pastor is on here. Blessings, Pastor Rodney Jones, my brother. Blessings to you, Sister Lynette. Blessings to you, Sister Christine. So wonderful to have you all on here with us on tonight. Please like and share this video. Lachelle, make sure you tag some of your people as well. So we're just excited to have my guest on tonight, Miss Lachelle Evans Beard, who is the founder and executive director of AME Incorporated. And she's also a domestic violence survivor and overcomer. So I'm excited about having her with us on tonight. Thank you all so much that are coming in. If you would like to comment, you can. Please like and share this video if you can, because I understand that this is a very sensitive topic. So I understand those that may not share the video, that may not like it. It's not even about that. It's really just about bringing awareness and tools of prevention to those that may be experiencing domestic violence in some shape, form, or fashion. So I'm laughing at myself, and my pastor knows this. Let me just put this little disclaimer out there. This is way out of my element because y'all know I'm usually doing this in the morning. I'm ready to go to bed, honestly. I'm sleepy right now. And I'm like, why? You got to fix your face up. I'm like, I already did that this morning. Why are we doing this again? It's time to. So y'all pray for me that I stay awake, because I start drifting at a certain time. But because I have my sister friend here with me, I'm so excited about us having this show on tonight. Who's laughing at me? I see that laughing emoji. But those that know me know that my watch in about 1 hour is gonna say it's time for you to prepare for bed. So we are breaking the silence of domestic violence on tonight. Oh, I just rhymed. We're breaking the silence of domestic violence. See? I should have been a rapper. Hey, April, so good to see you. So good to see you. So we know that domestic violence, or maybe some of you may not know, domestic violence is not just in the form of physical. Most people believe or they know it to be in the form of the physical, but domestic violence also covers verbal, emotional, psychological, and economic abuse as well. It's not just physical abuse. So tonight I want you all to to welcome my sister friend, Miss Lachelle Evans Beard, as she gets ready to share her story on tonight. Woo! Thank you, my sister, for joining me tonight. How are you feeling?
I am just like you. I am sleepy because I do get up at like 1:30 in the morning to go to work. But because it's you, Demetrius, I can stay up for a moment. But I want to say hello, everyone. Greetings in the precious name of Jesus. Let me introduce myself to some and present myself to others. My name is Lachelle Evans Beard. I am the proud founder and CEO of AMI Inc. AMI Inc. is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that I have created to help women and girls of all ages who are victims of domestic violence or who are struggling with self-development. I created a program to restore them, to ensure them, and teach them that they are not easily broken. Why? Because their past is not there now.
Amen. That is so amazing. So amazing. I had the honor and privilege of being one of the honorees on this year for Miss Lachelle's gala, where I was received this an award as a domestic violence overcomer. And so she's doing an amazing work in the community and for women and young ladies. She's empowering them, and she's, as she said, giving them the tools for development. Now, what I want to know tonight, Lachelle, how did you get to this place of wanting to start your own nonprofit organization? Was it because you were a domestic violence victim or survivor?
Well, I am also a domestic violence survivor slash overcomer, an advocate, and I didn't forget to mention, I'm sorry, that I am a three-time author. This is how this journey started. It was a good friend of mine, Dr. Shaniqua Scarborough. She was doing a book for women, co-authoring books, women that whatever you went through in your life, whatever obstacle that you went through in your life, and you want to tell a deep, dark secret, to go ahead and we'll put it in a book and co-author it. So I said, okay, now is the time. Now is the time. And I titled that chapter, which is the book is called As the Wind Blows, Amazon best selling book. It's called As the Wind Blows. You can get it on Amazon. And my chapter is chapter 1. And the title is The Reason Behind My Smile. Why I titled this book? Because everything that I went through, I still smile. But there was a mask. It was a mask that I was putting on. This smile now is real. The smile I was having was a mask because I still did not tell my story all completely. So after writing this book, I decided to say, you know what? Let me help other women. Is it really other women out here that's really going through this? They're struggling. They're scared to tell their story. Let me let them know that they too can be set free, tell their story with the hidden self. You know, sometimes we hold this deep secret and it's always killing the inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not messing with the physical appearance outside, but it's messing with our inner self. Well, we get sick. We have why we have all these fibroids or these stomach pains because we're dealing with that self-infliction and that self-hate that happened to us that we're blaming other people and we're so scared to tell. So finally, I decided to say, you know what? Let me go out here and help other women. And it all started March, which is my birthday month, March the 6th, 2018. I finally told my story and I finally decided to start a nonprofit organization. I did not tell that story until my daughter was 28 years old. She did not know anything that was happening because I was being beat while she was in my arms. She was 1 year old, my oldest daughter, and I was getting beaten at that time. So when I did release the book, I had her to read that paragraph that I wrote. And she was like, wow, was that me, mommy? I said, yes, that is my secret. I was in a domestic violence abusive relationship. But now I am free. So I decided to go out here and help other women that's living in secret, to let them know that don't be ashamed. Don't be scared. I was ashamed. I was scared, embarrassed because I grew up in the church. I was embarrassed what people was going to say. I wasn't going to get married. All of this negativity I was having. So now I just went out and said, is there other women like me? And once I did this, women just came to me of all nationalities, all their stories, all their problems, just crying and said, I'm ready. I want to be free. Oh my God, it's you. You look like me. I look like you. We look like each other. And that's when the birthing came, 2018. And I am in love with my nonprofit.
Amen. That is so beautiful and so amazing. And you're so right. There's a part of us that is ashamed, where we deal with embarrassment, but also victim blaming and shaming plays a huge part in that. A
Yes.
lot of times when the victims are trying to or want to get out, endeavoring to get out, they don't even have anybody to confide in, because many times the victim is blamed. You all may have heard people say stuff like, well, what did you do? You must have done something to make him or her do this to you. What did you say? And so I always talk about how every victim of abuse, no matter what the abuse is, needs at least one person that they can confide in. Even if the person who's being victimized or abused isn't quite ready to leave yet, they still need that person that they can call on, that they can trust to hold, or to rely on. So when they're ready, that they have the help that they need to escape. And so I want to know, if you don't mind sharing,
Sure.
how did you escape your abuser? How did you get out?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't have nobody I could talk to. My mom was in church. My mom is still into the church. My mom is sanctified, Pentecostal. I left the church. And trying to live the fast life. And when I hear and try to seek love elsewhere. I received it from my dad, but I was looking for more. So I went out here and felt in love and thought the guy was in love with me, until I said the wrong thing at the wrong time to him. It's the wrong thing in the wrong time. And I embarrassed him in front of some other male friends that we knew in the neighborhood. And that's when the beating started, right at a red light inside his vehicle. He beat me all the way till we got to his house in the alley. I'll never forget it. It was storming. It was raining. My daughter was in the back seat crying. And I was every name besides the birth name that my mom gave me. Every name, from sanctified, where's your family at now, and you this and you that, and you ain't going nowhere. I kill you here. You ain't your baby. It was just so much. It was just like, wow. Um, the last beating that I got from him, when he beat me with a pistol and told me to shut my daughter up from crying, I heard a voice said, and I'm not going to mention his name, I heard a voice call him downstairs. He went downstairs, and I played like I was asleep. He opened the door, and I guess he went out his back door. That was my moment when I grabbed my daughter, blood dripping down my face, no shoes, no nothing, and ran all the way home with my daughter in my arms, got into my closet. I heard my mama say, Punky, is that you? That's my nickname. Punky, is that you? I said, yes, mama, it's me. I'm finna go to bed. I'm tired. I was at my friend's house and I overslept. The biggest lie I told her. I went in the closet, laid my baby on the bed, made sure she was asleep, got in the closet, and stayed there until I heard my mom go to work. So when I broke free, I used to come watch What's Love Got to Do with It, because I tell everybody, and I think I told you this story, I tell everybody I was Tina Turner. She had her purse and I had my baby. And I was running all the way home, didn't look back. I had some scars on my feet because I had no shoes on. I was blood. And on top of that, I had on no underwears because I did get, as they call it, date rape.
Wow.
Yes.
That movie was just on a few days ago. What's Love Got to Do with It? And I was watching it. I used it in my presentation on this past Saturday when I spoke about domestic violence, with several other movies, like that one. Wow, you have such an amazing testimony.
Yes.
An amazing testimony. And I'm so grateful to God that you are still here.
Yes, I'm so
still
sorry about
here
this.
to
Yes.
tell the story. And you said that, so you said you had left the church, but did you ever leave God? Did you ever, how did you overcome? How did you get back into a place with God? What was your experience with that? As far as, because you said you left the church,
Mm-hmm.
but I see that you are in a place where you've overcome. You're you have healed. So something have had to happen in order for that to take place. So do you want to share that?
Sure. I woke up that morning. I went to the washroom and looked at myself in the face. And what I grew up at, it was a lot of, I don't know if I put this out here, but it was a lot of game makers in my neighborhood. So I wanted revenge. At that time you think, oh, I'm finna get you back. I'm finna pay you back. Who I finna call? I'm just throwing names out here. Sally Sue, Peter Paul. I'm finna call everybody to get them. I looked in the mirror and I remember a scripture in the church. Vengeance is mine.
Mhm.
I proceeded to go out. I couldn't hide it from my mom. And no, I was trying to hide from my mom. I couldn't go to the store. She was like, Punk, I need you to go to the store. And I'm like, okay, let me get dressed. I put on some shades, cover up, went the opposite long way to the store. And I seen a friend of his. And he was like, hey, guess what? I'm like, what? Trying to, what happened? He said, did you hear? And I'm thinking he talked about the incident. He said, did you hear? I'm like, He said, oh man, it was a big such and such and such and such. That person went to jail. So I was like,
Wow.
oh my God. That was my time when I said, everything I done went through, I turned my back on you, God, and you still kept me. You kept me here for another reason. So in that time, I still didn't have that relationship like I got now, because I still question, like, why this happened? Why did that happen to me? What did I do? Why? Because I didn't go to church, because I didn't do this. It was always a blame game. That's what I talk
Mhm.
about in my book. It's always the blame game. I was blaming everybody, and they stopped saying, you know what? It's not. It's not. I forgive you, Lachelle. I forgive you for the blame game. I forgive you for saying it was your fault. I had to forgive
Mm.
myself, and then I got that intimate relationship with God and said, "This is the purpose. My
Yeah.
purpose is to help other women that's going through this, to let them know it's not your fault. It's not you. Stop the blame game. You're more than enough." I had to tell women that you're beautiful. I didn't think I was beautiful. I didn't think I was more than enough. I didn't think I was going to ever get married. So I had to stop the blame game and get that relationship with God to know that, you know what? He picked up somebody like me and said, you got another purpose here. And this is your purpose, to empower women and to let them know, the same way I let you know, that you are
Mhm.
more than enough.
That is so beautiful. And God is so amazing. One of the things about God is that he's faithful
Yes,
and he's just and he's merciful and he's sovereign and he's holy, but he's faithful.
all the
And
time.
so, and he's faithful concerning us and
Mhm.
fulfilling purpose in our lives. He's faithful in making sure that we overcome. Even though
Yes.
we go through certain things, he's always with us. He never left you. He never left you. Even when you probably didn't feel like he was there. He never left you. And even when you were talking about the blame game, so many victims of domestic violence blame themselves because they're saying, I did something wrong. But even like I always say, even when it comes to sexual assault, it does not matter what a person has on. It does not matter if a person is butt naked. It does not matter. No one has the right to violate another person. No one has a right to rape someone. No one has a
Yes.
right to sexually assault someone. And it's the same thing when it comes to domestic violence. No one has the right to put their hands on you.
Right.
So if you say something to a person and they feel like it's out of line, they just need to walk away. Why do you have to hit someone? So that's
Yes.
something within that person. It's not the victim. It's not the person that's being striked. It's something that's within the person that needs to be worked on. But in our society, or even in a lot of our upbringing, we have been taught these perpetual cycles of abuse. We've been taught that you just sweep it under the rug. This is what men do. This is what women do. This is all a part of family. This is
Yes.
what we hit each other and you say, I love you, and we make up. You can cuss me clean out and we back together. You can, I mean, you can cut my hair off and we back together. You can, you know what I'm saying? I have
Yeah.
heard so many grueling stories of domestic violence where people are being held hostage. Where I mean, well, you heard them too. I mean,
Yeah.
where they in the head, but these women and men are still here to tell their stories, you know. And I often talk about my own sister who did not make it. She didn't make it at the age of 21. Her life was taken. And what I want to say tonight to those that are listening, do not take it lightly when a person says to you, when they threaten your life and they say to you, if I can't have you, can't nobody have you, I will kill you. Do not take those words lightly. Get out of there. Get out of there. If you can't, get out at any means necessary, because these people will try to make good on their word. They will try, if you try to well, even if you try to escape, but ask God to give you a strategic plan of escape, of how to get out. There is help out here. Lachelle has an organization. There are other organizations. We have the domestic violence hotline number that's right here on this at the bottom of the screen. There's help available for those that want to get out, that need to get out. And so, as she said, we have to, those of you that are going through any domestic violence situation, know that it is not your fault. It is not your fault. You have the right to be treated right. You have the right to be loved properly. You have the right to have healthy love. If anybody, and see, verbal abuse is looked over. Emotional abuse is swept under the rug. Emotional abuse and psychological abuse are the worst,
Yes.
because once somebody has your mind and your heart, they can do whatever they want to do. They can verbally abuse you and you'll stay. They can beat you to a pulp and you'll still stay, because they have groomed you. They have groomed you so that you can't even see your way out. And we have been taught that it's love. Our love has been distorted and tainted by these vicious cycles of abuse. And so we are breaking the silence on tonight. We are breaking the silence. You know, we're breaking the silence year after year. We're always talking about it. It's not it. Yes, October is the month that is set aside for it, but this is year round for many of us. This is
Yes.
year round, where we're trying to help individuals get out. We're trying to help individuals overcome and heal from their abuse. And it's not just women, men are being abused as well. Hi, Adam. Hi, is abuse learned behavior? Yes, it's learned behavior. It's a perpetual cycle. It's a perpetual that is learned. All forms of abuse are learned. Thank you to all of you that are coming in. All forms of abuse are learned behavior. So me and Lachelle, we could have perpetuated our abuse. You see what I'm saying? So if you were abused, or if you saw it coming up when you were growing up, then you could potentially perpetuate it onto someone else, whether it's your children, whether it's your spouse, you know, whoever. So that's why we have to break the cycles. It's not a generational curse. It's a learned behavior. It's a cycle that has to be broken. But if we're continually sweeping it under the rug, acting like it doesn't exist and making it normal, we could never break those cycles. Abuse is not normal of any form. It is not normal. It is not normal. It is not normal. Can I get y'all to just type that tonight? Abuse is not normal. I know I did it last week, but just type that in the comments. Abuse is not normal. Somebody needs to see that tonight, that abuse is not normal. That abuse is not normal. It's not normal. And we don't want to make it normal. We don't want to
No.
make it normal. We don't want to say that it's okay because it's not okay. And abuse is not love. Love does not harm. Love does not hurt. Love does not bust you upside the head. Love does not give you black eyes.
Mm,
Love does not stab you and shoot you.
mm,
Love does not run you over with a car. Love does not put you in bondage economically and make you suffer, control the money. That's economical abuse. It's when your spouse or significant other is controlling the money and you have to go to them for every cent, for every penny.
mm-hmm.
See, but people don't think about that, Lachelle, those type of abuses, because it's quote unquote, well, this is how I was raised, this is normal, this is how my parents did it. And so, but it's dysfunctional.
Yeah.
It's dysfunctional. And so we're just so grateful and thankful that you got out of that situation. So how were you able to overcome and heal? Because in order to help other people, other women, young ladies, men, or whoever, you have to be in a place yourself
Mm-hmm.
where you have healed from that particular trauma in your life. Because domestic violence is a trauma. It's an abuse that causes a trauma. And so we can't help others if we haven't healed or overcome ourselves. So how are you able to overcome and heal?
So for me, like I said, when I started my book, after rereading, proofreading the story that I wrote, I had my moments of tears. I had my days where I cried. And then when I wrote my own book, that's when my healing happened. When I wrote Breakthrough, Still I Rise. That's when I got my complete healing. And I just said, okay, I'm not that person anymore. It's okay to forgive that person. It's okay to forgive myself. It's okay to stop the blame game. It's okay to move forward. It's okay. God, I know it wasn't your fault because I blame God. So I'm just transparent moment. I blame God. So God, it's not your fault. You didn't do this because I left the church. You didn't do this to me
Ooh,
because I
come
left the
on.
church. No, no, no. No, God. I'm sorry for even thinking that. So it's a lot I had to forgive in here. I didn't forgive this because this was already a mask. This was already covered up. Did nobody know what's going on? So I had to take a moment to heal myself. I had to empower myself. I had to tell myself that I am more than enough. I had to start taking myself out to dinner. I had to start telling myself that I am beautiful. I had to start telling myself I am bold, I am confident, and be unapologetic about who I am. And then I started growing and start saying, God, you love me. You ain't forget about me. And I start saying, you know what? I can have a relationship with God. And I start having an intimate relationship with God. Start manifesting, start praying and seeking God and say, you know what, God, walk with me, guide me, and help me to guide and help me to draw others to you to let them know this is how I got through with him. So
Yes.
this is how you can get through knowing him. Just having a relationship with him. That's all you need. Just having a relationship with him. Once you have that relationship with God, it's nothing else like it. It's nothing else like it. So now I am happily married to a man that loves me unconditionally with all my
Yeah.
flaws, a man that supports me, a man that now praying for me. We pray for each other. So I just thank God because now I understand and I know my self worth. At first I didn't, but now I know my self worth and I know who I am. And this is my assignment. This is what I'm here to do. My
Yes.
assignment and my purpose.
Yes. Hey, buddy, how you doing, brother? Thanks for tuning in. Yes, absolutely. God is the center of it all. He's the
Yes.
center of it all, whether you are in a church building or not. God is the center of it all. And keeping that foundation and that relationship with Him is so key because He would take us through the Word. That's actually how I was able to overcome many of my abuses through
Yeah.
God taking me through the Word. Did you go through any type of counseling or therapy or anything like that?
No, I did a lot of self reflection. I did a lot
Mhm.
of what I call mirror exercising. I did a lot of just sitting in just manifesting to God. And I didn't know what it was called at that time, but I was just always just in the bathroom. I see myself going to the bathroom and I just cry to him everything. And I just write it down. So I started writing myself a diary to myself. And then that's how I started getting in my cleansing. And then I have scriptures I would read here and there, but then I started getting closer to them. Then I started learning, okay, I can fast. Because I always thought that grew up in church. You got to go to church to fast. You got to go to church to get close to God. You got to go to church to read your Bible. I grew up that you got to go to church. You got to go to church to do this in order to get close to God. Knowing that after me reading certain scriptures and after me doing my YouTube exercises, that no, I can have an intimate relationship with him just like this. Yes. And so that has been my healing. And that is still my healing to this day.
Yes.
Still my healing.
Yes. And I mean, because this is the thing, when you're all alone and there's no one else there, he's there.
Come on. Don't stop.
When everything is closed in the midnight hour.
He's there. I can call him at 3 o'clock in the morning.
You at home in a room by yourself. He's the only one there. And only he's the only one that knows everything, because he's sovereign. He knows all about it. He knows every tear. Your mama don't know that. He knows every scar that you got. He knew it. And so can't nobody heal you like God. And it was the same. I went through that same process. So I am in agreement with the power of relationship with God, because your relationship with God is intimate between you and him. It's between you and him. And when it's all said and done at the end of the day, no one is going to be standing there but you and him. You got to give an account for whatever it is. And so I'm just thankful that you and God mended you mended your relationship with him and allowed him to heal you and allowed you to you allowed him to help you overcome through forgiveness. Forgiveness is such a key factor in overcoming. Forgiveness is like the number one key factor for healing and overcoming. Forgiving yourself, even though it's like you forgiving yourself for something that you didn't even do wrong, like it wasn't even your fault. But for even forgiving those that have wronged us, forgiving those that have used us, and in this case, forgiving those who have abused us. Yes. Understanding also that person may have been abused, or that person may have had some issues going on in their lives. And of course, we don't make no excuses for it. However, those people actually need redemption as well. They need redemption as well. And sometimes, many times, we hold other people's forgiveness, or we hold other people's healings in the palm of our hand. Sometimes, many times, because we don't let go, then they feel like they can't get what they need. They can't get that release, or they don't feel like they can be redeemed. And so letting go and forgiving is one of the main key components to overcoming. Ask me how I know. And when you don't want to do it, hey, sis, Minister Siobhan, and when you don't want to do it, when you say to God, no, this is you can do it. I gotta forgive this. Like, why I gotta forgive this? This is heinous. This is disgraceful. This is disgusting. And if we want to be forgiven, we have to forgive. Now, does that mean you go over to your abuser's house and sit back and kick up your feet and y'all have tea and crumpets, or tea and donuts or coffee, and no, that doesn't mean that. It means you let go, and that's a heart posture. Letting go is a heart posture. Letting go is saying, God, I release it to you. I release it to you. And that's not always easy to do. No. Even for believers. I know many believers who have a hard time forgiving, and which is, it's baffling, but they have a hard time forgiving. And because I think a lot of times we equate forgiving means that you have to be sitting next to me every day and I got to do all these things with you. No, It means to let go, to release, to let go. That's all. To allow God to come in and heal your heart. And so we have the power to do that. It's within us. It's
Mhm.
within us. And I thank God that He gives us the tools through His word to forgive so that we are able to heal. So I'm so thankful for my guests on tonight. I thank you all that are coming in. She already talked about her organization. Um, but I want you to share more what you offer at AMME Incorporated for those that may be on here that need help, or they may know somebody that may be seeking some sort of help. They're in a domestic violence situation and they may be seeking some sort of help. So, what do you offer
Okay.
um, at your organization?
Sure. And me, we have so many Rolodex of resources. We have the resources and the tools. If you are in a domestic violence relationship and you need to get out, I have so many resources we can give you that I have partnered with a lot of ladies. Well, I partnered with a lady named Latasha Henderson. She had the Patricia place. I partnered with another lady, Lisa Jenkins. She's also a domestic violence advocate. I partner with Renee Cooper. She's also another domestic violence advocate that we have resources and revenues for if you want to get out. We don't discuss that over the phone.
Mhm.
We discuss that one-on-one with that individual, with that person who is seeking help. My thing of it is they come to me. I find out what they need. I send them to their resources that can help them to get them, whether they need emergency shelter, emergency housing, if they need money, clothing, etc. I have been partnered with these ladies. God has blessed me with these ladies. They all say yes. I would say earlier this year, during a pandemic, we go to a couple domestic violence throughout Chicago area, the smaller ones that nobody is talking about, the smaller ones that's throughout Chicagoland and some in the suburbs that don't nobody know about, because they out in their private location. So we go to them and try to get them clothing. They have children there. So we try to find out what the children need, whether it's Pampers, because this is a lot of reason why some of these women are homeless. Because they're getting kicked out because of what happened with the abuser. So they're getting kicked out. So we try to go to these shelters to give them clothing, toiletries, whatever they need. And then we try to look for permanent housing to get them, up on their feet. I have a financial partner that I talk to get them to start building up their credit. Because another part of it is financially. A lot of people don't understand that financially is the part. You spoke about that. You can't have this money, you can't have this money. And a lot of women rely on their men giving them money. And once they kick them out with no money, it's like, okay, how am I live? How am I survive? So we try to help them build their credit, try to help them get their own bank account in their name, and just try to restore their inner self, to get them to be empowered, to say, okay, you know what? Let's forgive that person. Let's move forward. I do a lot of workshops. I do a lot of motivation. I have a lot of motivational speakers that come out. Of course, we have prayer and everything that we do. We do a lot of fundraising. It's just so much that the Lord has blessed me to navigate and try to do to bring these women to, I call it like a safe haven when I have a workshop with them. My main goal is to do a mirror exercise when I tell them to look themselves in the mirror and say, this is the old you. And then I have another mirror and say, this is the new you once they complete the workshop. So it's a lot that AME is doing. We have partnered with a lot of women and one man that I'm so happy moving forward. My goal now is to try to get a safe haven, a place where it's just not only a house, but we can have the workshop, the motivation, the resume writing, all that in one location.
Mhm. That is so amazing. That is so amazing. All of the resources that you have and the connections that you have to help individuals who are dealing with domestic violence situations. And we just thank God for you. How can they reach you on your website, right?
Yes, my website is one word, awomanvision.com. It's one word, AWOMANVISION.com. Also, if they want to email me, a womanvision@yahoo.com. So the
And
website,
also, okay, go ahead.
I'm
I'm
sorry,
gonna
the
put it up.
website is a womanvision.com and the email is a womanvision@yahoo.com.
There it is. And also, if you all would like to make I gotta fix that. That's not right. If you all would like to make a donation, you can make a donation at awomanvision.com. If you would like to donate to this organization and help further the mission and the vision of this young lady, that would be a blessing. That would be a blessing. So if you
Yes.
want to donate to her, let me put that back up there. You can visit her website at awomanvision.com. If you would like to donate, just go to her website at awomanvision.com. If you would,
Thank you.
all donations and proceeds go to the furthering of her organizations to help the victims of domestic violence. Lachelle, we appreciate you so much. We're going to get ready to close out, but I do want you to share um, a tool or whatever God gives you to what tool or what is it that you want to share as last words to somebody that may be in a domestic violence situation right now? What would you say to them?
If you are in a domestic violence situation right now, we as women have that gut feeling and we see the red flags. Do not ignore the red flag. Do not ignore your gut feeling. Go to someone. Set up you a secret code that only you and that person know. And when it's that time, get a strategy together. And when you call that person, then you tell that person that secret code, that individual will know what to do. Don't give them another chance. Don't give her another chance. Break the silence and get out now. It's another chance. You're worth it. Know your self worth, brother. Know your self worth, my sister. Get out.
Awesome. She said, do not ignore. Do not ignore the signs. Get out. Get out. I love that advice about the secret code. I love that. I love that. So thank you, my sister, for joining us on tonight. I hope you all that are tuning in, you this broadcast or this live brought some awareness to you tonight, and it gave you some tools of prevention. It may not be for you, but it may be for someone else. So please, I'm asking you to like and share this video so that we can continue to spread awareness against the domestic violence, the perpetual cycles of domestic violence. We have on our purple shirts tonight. Show your shirt. Break the
Purple
silence,
watch.
break the silence. So, oh, you got a purple watch too. Yeah, because see, it's getting close to 8:30. So y'all already know, like I'm about to start going downhill with my sleep. So I just want to thank you all so much that tune in. Those of you that commented, those of you that, you joined in with the conversation. I appreciate you all so much on tonight. And I guess I'll see you all on next Monday. This is so different doing this in the evening. Like I can literally feel my eyelids getting real heavy. This is so terrible. This is terrible. And so, yes, so remember, applied knowledge is power. Therefore,
Yes.
according to Luke 10 and 19, you have the exousia power to choose to overcome. Go and be healed, overcome, be blessed. Do not ignore the signs and just overcome. Just overcome. You have the power. You have the power. You have the power. You have the power. Thank you so much, my sister. I appreciate you for joining us on tonight. And you were actually my very first guest. I never never done this before. I had a live for my birthday, but it was a virtual birthday celebration. That was a little different. But you're
Oh.
actually my very first guest. And so we're going to continue to bring awareness to domestic violence for the rest of the month. And for
Yes.
us, this is a lifestyle. This is what we do. So yes. So I appreciate you all. You all have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.
You have the power to choose. So